Kaylee Doms was inside the courtroom for today's testimony in the Thomas Popp murder trial. She's not outside the Woodbury County Law Enforcement Center tonight. Kaylee, give us a breakdown of the proceedings that took place today.
Yeah, absolutely, Jessica. Now, this afternoon, a big moment for the defense, as their biggest piece of evidence throughout this entire trial has been the lack of DNA tying Thomas Dwayne Popp to the murder. Now, today, a DCI DNA criminalist testified about the evidence he tested in the decades-old case back in 2018, as well as previous testing that was done in the earlier 2000s and late 1900s. The criminalist was tasked with looking for DNA on items collected from the crime scene, including McCulley's own clothing, cigarette butts removed from Popp's car, and even swabs taken from McCulley's body. And just as the defense had alluded to in its opening statement, none of Popp's DNA was detected.
DNA profile was developed from that lighter. We're too weak for conclusive interpretation. No DNA profile was developed. No profiles were developed from the root ends of those hairs. No DNA profiles were developed from the swabbings of that coat. Unable to develop a DNA profile from the vaginal swabs.
So for the items that you tested, you were unable to find any DNA on any of those items. Is that right, Mr. Petrocelli?
That is correct.
Now, the DNA analyst testified testing found no usable DNA linking either Popp or McCulley to the evidence examined. Now, that included McCulley's own underwear and Popp's own shotgun, where their DNA should have been found. Now, the expert testified the age of the evidence, as well as animals that had gotten to the evidence before it was collected, and old testing, such as chemical fingerprinting back in the 1990s, could have contaminated this evidence, and that is why DNA that should have been found still wasn't located. Jess?
All right, KTV's Kaylee Doms live tonight from Woodbury County Law Enforcement Center. Kaylee, when will that trial continue?
Yeah, Jessica, testimony resumes 9 a.m. tomorrow. The state expected to call their final 2 witnesses. The defense expected to call 1 witness. That should take place on Thursday. And Jessica, I believe that this case will be in the hands of the jury by Friday.
All right, Kaylee Doms live for us tonight. Kaylee, thank you.